Welcome back, and it should be welcome back. We're now on page 3 of the 1.1, and we're going to get right into it. Write the slope-intercept form of equation of the lines through given points that are parallel to the given line. So we have a given line to get and it passes through this point. So to get an equation of a line, if we use point-slope form, what we need is a point and the slope. Those are our puzzle pieces. Well, if the line passes through -2, 3, I've already got this. Y minus the y coordinate equals something times the x minus the x coordinate minus -3 plus 3. And all we need is the slope, and we're supposed to be in A. We're supposed to be parallel to this, and slope parallel perpendicular is just a study of the slope. The equation of this line in slope-intercept form is y equals -x plus 7. So the line that we want to be parallel to has slope -1. Therefore, the line we want needs slope of -1, and we got all 3 puzzle pieces. Write the slope-intercept form, however, of it in parallel. So slope-intercept form, y minus 2 equals -1x minus 3. When we distribute the negative, we need to add 2 to both sides. So y equals -x. When I add 2, I get -1, and that's it. And for B, we've got the equation still passes through this point, perpendicular, still passes through this point, y minus the y coordinate equals slope times x minus -3 minus the x coordinate plus 3. But now our slope, we want to use the opposite, so negative becomes positive. Reciprocal of 1 on 1 is still 1, so we want +1. So y equals, distribute, we get x plus 3, add 2, we get y equals x plus 5. And that's it. And they can try to make things a little bit more complicated by throwing some fractions in there or whatnot, but we're honor students and we can handle this if we can read it. That's 2/5. So A, I guess before A, I'm really interested in the slope, so this would be y equals, I'm going to subtract 3x, it joins a plus 6, and I'm going to divide both sides by the -2, and therefore the slope that we want to model is 3/2, not -3/2. 3/2, so for parallel, I want y minus the y coordinate, y plus 1, equals 3/2 times x minus the x coordinate, minus 2/5. That's y equals, distribute 3/2 x, plus times minus, minus 2's cancel, 3/5, and what's left? I need to subtract 1, but that would be -1 minus 5/5 for y equals 3/2 x minus 8/5. And for perpendicular, I still have these 2 same puzzle pieces, y minus -1, y plus 1 equals slope 3/2 x, times x minus the 2/5. That was bad. If I had any pride at all, I'd redo this, but it's probably good to see that mistakes happen. Perpendicular, -2/3 times x minus 2/5. And y equals, let's see, distribute negative 2/3 x, most common algebra mistake, failing to distribute the negative. That becomes plus 4/15. And now I need to subtract the 1, so that could be minus 15/15. And I get y equals negative 2/3 x minus 11 on 15. And as from page 2 I talked about, when you get these special equations, here's y equals 2. You should most definitely start with the graph of those things. So I'm just going to squeeze that in right over here. Y equals 2 means all of the points are up 2. Looks like this. So an equation that goes through 3, -1 and is parallel to that line must look like this, and on this line all of the points are down 1. How about that? And to be perpendicular to that must look like this, where all of the points are to the right 3. X is right, left. So to be honest, these are the easiest ones. We just haven't practiced those that much. So that is it for 68, 70, and 74. Let's look at the next ones. The lines are parallel, therefore the slopes are the same. Find the slope-intercept form of y2. So really, just like above, this has a slope of -2. We could do this algebraically by doing this. Say y minus 1 equals m times x minus -1, x plus 1. But that's y minus 1 must equal -2 times x plus 1. Or y equals distribute -2x minus 2, rescue 1 with addition, and we get y equals -2x minus 1. But I'm hoping that you see that there's just a quicker way to do that when we have the graph. We need to have a slope -2, 1. We start right, or -2 on 1. We start right here. We go down 2 over 1, and sure enough, there's our y-intercept, there's our slope, and that's a direct avenue to get to there. So this is going to be a pretty quick page for you. Perpendicular. Perpendicular here. It looks like we have it looks like this thing goes down and over right through this nice clean, that would probably be 4. But let's go ahead and go through the process here. We have a slope of 3, which means the slope, I'll call it slope 2, must be opposite reciprocal, -1/3. So that is y minus 5 equals -1/3 times quantity x minus -3 x plus 3. So y is -1/3 x. Distribute the negative, minus times plus minus, 1/3 times 3, 1. Add 5, y equals -1/3 x plus 4. So page 3 is going to be quick. Let me know what I can help with.